what's up? 8 Brian here, and I'm back again for another month of flea market and thrift store pickups for April. So let's get started. Alright, first let's check out comic books. So comic books and other kind of like book-related material, I guess. We'll kind of lump that together in one category. I picked up a Mighty number Thor, number 177. Which I believe I paid $3, $2, either $2 or $3 for. Good deal. It's worth about 20 or 30. A Captain Marvel number 6, which is a really early issue. Paid $5 for that. Very cool. And paid $3 for this. It's missing the back cover because otherwise this would be worth an unbelievable amount of money. But just finding it out in the wild is amazing regardless. It's missing the back cover, so I'm trying to get one to stitch onto the back. This is just one that I just kind of photocopied for myself and taped on because I didn't like just reading the comic without an actual back, and I know people are going to already bitch, but there's existing tape on there and I can just remove this, so, you know, it's just really for me to read it. And what this is, in the first place, is Silver Surfer number 2. Like, holy shit, that is unbelievable. Like, just finding that out in the wild, I mean, insane. Absolutely insane to come across this. I mean, the Silver Surfer run of comics was only, I believe, 17 to maybe 18 issues tops. You know, of course he was in earlier stuff with the Fantastic Four and stuff, and like Enter the Watcher, but the original Silver Surfer himself, you know, being one of the most iconic characters in comic book and superhero lore, just to find the second issue of that is unbelievable. So just to even have a beat-up reader of this is awesome. I am super psyched to add that to my collection. And for only, I think, $3? I mean, you can't go wrong. Also, found some interesting stuff. I don't know if I covered this before. If I did, I'm sorry, but I don't think I did. This is a Nintendo Choose Your Own Adventure book, although it just says Adventure Book, but it's a Choose Your Own Adventure book by Nintendo. And this one is called Pipe Down, and you can see Princess Peach playing basketball in the background, and Mario and Luigi looking puzzled as where they're supposed to go. And, you know, it has different paths that you can take, or you can earn coins, or your adventure is over, or you get like star power-ups and stuff. So really cool. Again, I do think I covered this, I just couldn't remember finding it in my other videos, so if I did, I'm sorry. If not, enjoy it again. It's still an awesome find. Paid $5 for that. That's a little pricey for a paperback book, but because of the rarity of it and me loving to collect old weird video game stuff, I just couldn't pass up on it. Also in the book category, this was really strange. I got this for $2, and just really bizarre. This is the Karate Kid Part 2 Puzzles and Mazes book. Like, just weird. Where are you going to find a book about, you know, the Karate Kid? And I was talking with a guy who bought it and said that it was, you know, his kids back in the 80s, and it's already filled out and everything. So somebody had a really good time, a lot of fun filling that out. I was never really a big fan of the Karate Kid movies. I like Mr. Miyagi a lot. Shame he passed away, but, you know, I always thought Daniel was kind of a douche, and I talked to some people about the movie, and it's like, he's really the instigator in the movies, and he's like, you know, oh, don't fight unless it's necessary. Bullshit! You're the one going around starting shit with everyone, so, aside from that, it's just kind of a dumb concept to begin with. I never really liked the movie. But anyway, moving right along, something I'm going to kind of lump in with books and stuff like this. I found a bunch of vinyl records, and I'm usually not a big vinyl guy. I do have a decent vinyl collection, but generally, I don't know. I have a record player. I don't have it set up to play anywhere, but, you know, I love a lot of the covers on these, and if I find ones that catch my eye, I always have to pick them up. And the first one, these were all $1 each, so good steal. It's Rick James, bitch! And this is Street Songs, which has Super Freak on it. And I completely forgot about this, like how he's dressed up in drag and whatever, and he's getting patted down on the back by a cop. Like, God, that is pure nightmare fuel. That is pure nightmare fuel. But it's it's cool. It's Rick James. Vinyl's a hell of a drug. And found a band that probably not a lot of people remember. If you like Def Leppard, you'd definitely be into them. A mild metal band in the 80s, Spyro Alternating Currents. And this is a really, really cool, like hard rock to light metal band. And they've just played a lot of really trippy music, and really, really cool if you ever listen to stuff like Triumph, Progressions of Power, or like Peter Gabriel or something like that. It's has a lot of synth work in it and stuff like that, and just really kind of like experimental rock. Very, very cool. And then these, I could not believe I ran into. Not a huge fan. I mean, I like the big hits and stuff, but without any further ado, I found Boy George and the Culture Club. Like, are you kidding me? Where are you finding these? This is, let's see, Kissing to Be Clever, and this has I'll Tumble For You and stuff like that, and you can see on the back, just so wild. Like, I mean, what says more 80s than this? And then, of course, the infamous Culture Club Color by Numbers with Camera Chameleon and all the other big hits on there. And just look at that. Look at that freaking picture. Like, how insane is that? And that existed in my lifetime. I don't know what to say about that, but it was a thing, and it wasn't bad. Just maybe you might not want to own up to listening to this type of music. Get a reputation. All right, let's move along now to well, I got a ton of toys this month, and all very reasonably priced. I guess I'll start with the one I got closest to me here, and this was a really fun, awesome find. I found it at a thrift store near me, and this is the Secret Wars Tower of Doom, I believe it's called. Yeah, this is Dr. Doom's Tower of Doom, where it has this rotating turret missing the guns on the side. It has a little jail right here. Where's the button for it? Here we go. You pull that out, and that opens up to the side, and then in the back you can see the prison doors where they open up and everything. There we go. Hope you can see that. Might be holding that too high. And has all these just really great, cool looking stickers. And I paid $3 for this. Like, are you joking? Like, you're not gonna find this anywhere for $3. Like, this is easily a $20 to $30 toy online. Even in its current shape, and it's really not missing much aside from a few little guns, and the chair is supposed to hook on to the side here, but there's a little piece that would go on the front here, and it would slide up and down like this, so it's missing that, but I can probably crazy glue something together and, have this at 100%. So really, really awesome toy. I'm a huge Secret Wars fan, and for $3, like, just awesome. And there seems to be some other type of little miscellaneous hatch. Look at that, I'm finding things out even now, just playing it. There you go, there's a little secret door that opens up. I had no idea that even did that. Very cool. Alright. And this I found, I think I paid $2 or $3 for. And at first I thought this was the turtle blimp, but it is actually the turtle parachute. And you would fold the parachute up, and when you're a kid, go on like a really high porch or something, or a tree, and let this drop down, and it'll open up, and these little things they're bombs for like attacking the Foot Clan, and they'll like flip out, and then like you dive bomb into Shredder, Krang and everything. And I got my favorite Michelangelo in there. Sporting a lot of Turtles gear today with my Turtles shirt. And yep, so Mikey looks like he would be the skydiving type, but very cool. You can really see and hear the weird fabric that the parachute is made out of, and this looks really cool. When I first saw this, I was like, holy shit, I was like, is this the turtle blimp? Because I just saw this material, but still really neat. So very cool to add that to my Ninja Turtles collection. And let's see. Okay. Also, I found here. Um, this is G1 Barrage. This is one of the super Insecticons of the Decepticons, and got him for $2. So great deal. His stickers are in really good shape, and he just transforms into a beetle, which is honestly like half the Insecticons just transform into beetles. Like you have like Chop Shop, who's like a big weevil, and then you have Bombshell, who's like a beetle, and you have this guy who's a beetle. I mean, like there's more bugs than just beetles. I mean, you have like Kickback, who's a grasshopper, and Shrapnel, who's a I don't know, a cricket or something. Like those are creative, but why not make like ants or something? I never understood that. Everything's just stag beetles and beetles and beetles and beetles. Maybe the Transformers writers were really into the beetles. Who knows? And these I found too, which were really freaking cool. This is a 1988. I don't know if this goes together, but I paid like a quarter each for these. Captain Crunch, a little water squirter, and he's holding onto his hat like, oh no! Like he's all stressed out, and you're supposed to hold it like that, and then they'll squirt water out the front. But I also got this with it. And there was a red one too, but I didn't really need both. These were a 1984 promotion where you had to find Captain Crunch's treasure. And inside of the Captain Crunch cereal, you get one of these treasure boxes, and there would be little coins. And if one of them said you won, you got $1,000, and it still has the freaking coins in there. Like, check that out. It has Crunch Mountain on the one side, and then it has a picture of Captain Crunch on the other side. And you could even use it as a little bank. Like you can put these things inside, and they go in there. How cool is that? That thing's so awesome. What an awesome little cereal toy. And also I paid, let me see, $4 for the lot of these, which was great. I can't believe nobody else saw these. I found a bunch more monster in my pockets. I found 9 of these. Like this crazy scorpion guy. It looks like a Sagittarius Scorpion mix. This blue gargoyle looking guy. And I just love the colors on these. They're so awesome, and and they just pop so well. This crazy looking flame lion thing. You can look up the names for them if you go online by their numbers. This giant snake. This kind of looks like a big turd. Who knows? Looks like something like Winged Ra or something out of like Egyptian culture. This cool, looks like an ent, like a walking tree with the arms. I believe this is Cthulhu. Not 100% sure. Either that or something from Universal Pictures. I'm sure one of you guys can let me know what that is. Some weird old Chinese guy who's like kind of heavy set. I don't understand why he'd be a monster. Just kind of looks like a fat Chinese guy. And this deer person with a knife. No idea. Viking, Native American type god or monster. Cool looking though. But I just love the colors on them. They just pop so well. And then these I found. Oh my god, these are so cool. Found these all for $1. And these are old 1970s McDonald's patches that came. I don't believe they were with. Well, they might have been with early Happy Meals, because the Happy Meal started around 1972, 77. And I see Ronald McDonald here saying, "Let's clown around." You have one of the Fry guys saying, "Good Goblin." You have Big Mac. I don't remember the cop's name. It's not Mayor McCheese. I don't know if his name was Big Mac or not, but he says, "Don't cop out." And then a Shake Me Up patch. And these are just really, really cool. Like, just so weird and bizarre that, how many people, have something like that. Very cool. Very neat. And then I also found, where I added to my, remember I did a Fast Ones review a while ago, I found 3 more Fast Ones cars for about $1 each. And here we have, this is a 4x4 van. Only one of them is missing a little license plate on the back. Great coloring. And this one is called, what is this now? This is the Super Coupe. Check this thing out with the exposed engine, the old hot rod with the bright yellow and the American flag. That's one of my favorites. That is awesome looking. And this turbo Camaro, white with the red and brown and the Firebird paint job on there. I might have to do an update to my Monster in My Pocket and Fast Ones videos because I keep picking these things up. Can't help it. And last but not least, let's see. I was going to save this till last, but I'll include this with my toys. Paid big bucks for this guy here. I found a Hero Quest game system. Paid $50 for this, which honestly isn't bad. I mean, complete, they go for around 90 to 100, so believe it or not, I actually did pretty good. This is 99% complete. It's only missing one tile and one figure, and I think this might actually be the same one I had as a kid, which is nuts, because when I look inside of it, a lot of my pieces got damaged, but I wonder if my pieces also made it into another set somehow. You have the Barbarian and the Elf here. This was kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons type playing game. And you have the Barbarian here, and his sword is bent like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. And the Elf, he has a little stress mark in his sword right here. And both of these guys in my set exactly had those little problems in those areas. And I was like, what in the hell are the odds of that, of finding two of the same characters like bent and damaged exactly like how my two characters were? So, really weird. I mean, you know, it's always interesting that when I go to flea markets, I know I found at least like 20% of my old toys that I know are mine from my house. Because I originally grew up in the Jersey area, and we sold our house. I know a lot of stuff went to Got Junk, and there's this Goodwill store that a lot of the dealers rummage through. So it's always weird. Like, every once in a while, I come across some of my old legitimate toys, and it's really, really trippy to like find your stuff and someone else is selling it. Really crazy. But anyway, moving right along, let's get into video games. Got a decent little pile of stuff here, and we'll start off with a very interesting game that I paid only $1 for. This is for the Commodore 64, and it's called Peanut Butter Panic! Check that out. Look at those awesome graphics on the front of these ridiculous little blob thingies, like fighting over peanut butter sandwiches. Is this little snark? I think that's what it's called. No, snarf. It's a mouth that tries to eat your peanut butter sandwiches that you stack up in the middle and make sure that, you know, you don't fall over. And just really cool, complete in box. And that's for the Commodore 64. I do not love the Commodore 64, so of course I'm going to pick that up. I also picked up Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, and I paid, I think, $5 for this. So traded this in at a flea market video game store local to me, and everything worked out. You know, I paid $5 for it, and the stuff that I traded in, I only paid like $1 for each of those things, so that made out really good in the process of playing this now. Battery backup's been working good so far, so I hope by popping that on my Super Nintendo I didn't erase all of my save states. Also, I just found very recently, paid $8 for this, but well worth it. These were a Nintendo Power special. These were statues that you could get by mailing in your high score, and you'd pay something for shipping and handling, and Nintendo Power would send you back a statue that you could write your high score and name in, you know, to like put on your wall and show off to your friends and stuff. And this is Bowser. And these easily go at conventions for $30 to $40 and up, at least $25 and up. And this is totally complete, not missing anything. There's no pegs that are loose, nothing missing. Everyone I've seen online is exactly the same. He has a hole in his hand, but nobody else has one that has something that's supposed to go in there, so I'm guessing he's complete. That's just how they molded it, I think. But they made these for like Punch-Out!, Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, and they're just so cool looking. Very cool. And, you know, $8, but well worth it in my opinion. Love having that on my shelf. And let's see, got some more games that I got a stretch to get to here. Yeah! Alright, also picked up a bunch of Sega Master System stuff, which you don't see too often. Nothing too crazy. Paid $9 for all three of them. This is Sega, this is a Reggie Jackson baseball. Really cool. Like I always like the Sega Master System covers, even though most people don't. I think they look neat with like the white checkerboard. They're just very different. They look like something like Microsoft would have came out with. Then we have Great Soccer, which I have yet to find out just how great or not great that actually is to validate that claim. And Great Ice Hockey, which, oh my god, looks like Jason, coming after you. Like, holy shit, that's a scary fucking picture on there. And this is actually pretty rare from what I saw online. Like, complete goes for 22 bucks. So, missing the manual, so, it's probably worth at least 10 or 15. $3 a piece, that's a decent deal, I think. I also found a lot of Game Boy stuff this month. I picked up this weird little cartridge, which, as you can see, doesn't have a picture on the front, but this is a Japanese import game. As you'll see at the top, it doesn't say Nintendo Game Boy on the top. It's all smooth. This is a 32-in-1 cart, and it has games like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, and it's from, like, 94, 95, and these were something that, in Japan, they have a really tight control over the video game market, and the yen being so high, a game over there like that we would have paid 40 or 50 bucks for growing up, you'll pay like 100 bucks or more, and that's just what you pay. So a lot of bootleggers made games where they did games like this, where hey, let's put 15, let's put 100, let's put 30 on a game. And since a lot of people in Japan are really poor, they're much willing to pay 40 or 50 bucks for a bootleg game that's crammed full of games than buying something else, from an actual game retailer. So you'd think since most video games are made in Japan that, who's going to be playing them more than the Japanese? But that's not true because their whole economic system's like, totally backwards. So they have no money, and that's why, or at least used to, I don't know how it is now, but, with the yen being so reversed that it takes like millions of yen to buy like simple things and people don't make anything, that's why underground bootleggers did really well by selling stuff at a reasonable price. So there's that little quick history lesson for you. Moving right along, anyway, found a Pokemon Heartfelt Gold, and paid 10 bucks from that. Got that from a good buddy Mel. That's a pretty decent deal. And got Bubble Ghost for 5 bucks. This is a really uncommon game. I got this off of a dealer that I know. I mean, dude, if you ever watch my video, you didn't give me a deal on this. I know you think you do by 5 bucks. Price charting says that it's 15, but it's only worth 5 bucks. So next time you think you give somebody a deal, look at your merchandise. Like, this is totally messed up. It's not a deal. That's what you should be selling it for to begin with. So just throwing that out there. And moving along, also picked up Pokemon Yellow. Missing the label. I want to get a new label for that. And I was guessing when I bought it off the vendor, I was like, is this Donkey Kong Land 2 or is it Pokemon? But I recognized that really deep, deep, deep yellow. It's not like that lighter banana yellow of Donkey Kong Land. And I knew this was Pokemon. So good find. That and the 32-in-1 I paid like 7 bucks each for, so good deal. Moving along, also got some NES, and I'll throw this out there right now. I also picked up 4, along with my NES games, Funko Land sleeves. I always pick these up anytime I see them. They're awesome to collect, very colorful, and just remind me so much of growing up and going to Funko Land. So, what games did I get? Well, let's see. I picked up Snake Rattle and Roll. Got that for 8 bucks. What an awesome, awesome, awesome fun game this is. Really common, not rare or anything, but just super, super fun. I was playing that earlier today, and very glad I picked that up. Also picked up Track and Field for 4 bucks. And this, I gotta say, falls into uncommon territory. I see a lot of people listing this as common, but that's Track and Field 2. The original Track and Field's a lot harder to find. And it's not anywhere near rare, but I think it really is bumped up from common to at least an uncommon game now. It's pretty hard to track this down, even on eBay. Also found River City Ransom, which I got for 20 bucks with some trade with another buddy I know at a Quaker City Flea Market. And I got a great deal on that, so very happy about this. One of my favorite games growing up as a kid. I love how you level up by just going to different like restaurants and eating sushi and pancakes and stuff. So ridiculous. What a great game. And then an uncommon title that I found is Championship Pool. And this is mildly uncommon, paid $5 for that. So, you know, that's just the collector and me picking up weird, uncommon games. And moving along into the home stretch, I picked up a bunch of Atari stuff. Not as much as I usually do, because my Atari collection is getting so big, I'm running out of stuff to collect. Probably am 50 to 60% of the way to a complete Atari collection. I picked up Spitfire Attack for $10, which in my mind I think is reasonable just because of the rarity. This is probably a 5 or 6 on AtariAge.com, I believe, a Milton Bradley game. And then at a thrift store near me, Village Thrift, I believe, I picked up Trick Shot for only $1. So anytime I can grab an Atari game I don't have for $1, hey, why not? Then I also picked up for Sega Genesis, picked up Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. You gotta love that face where he's hang gliding. Like, what is he hang gliding into? Is he just afraid of heights? Is he, like, gonna crash into a building or something? So, just really funny. He's like, oh my god, I don't approve of this! I don't like this! Just... like, did he do drugs before he got on that hang glider or something? Like, what's going on there? Funny picture. And last but not least, I found these very interesting controllers. And these are really super rare to find. I just found these today, actually, when I was out. And these are Bishu, a brand that made, that wasn't a sneeze, by the way. Bishu brand controllers that made a lot of off-brand stuff for Nintendo. And they're called Zipper controllers. And these are actually really awesome. I don't want to attempt taking it out. You know, you can see right away the really bright, vibrant colors, just a cool looking design, even on the back, where I believe it says, yeah, Zipper and Bishu. And they're in the Famicom style of design. But as you can see here, I have 2 of them, $5 a piece. And this does not have that little knob in the front, you notice. They also have separate turbo controllers for the B and A buttons, but why it doesn't have that knob is because this actually turns your controller into an analog stick. So I don't want to try moving that. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. I'm just going to leave that the way it is. But how cool are these? They are so fun to have hooked up to your Nintendo. All blue and green and yellow and red and silver and white cord. They're just awesome. So totally glad to have picked them up. And I think that was pretty reasonable, especially for how unusual they are. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for April for flea market and thrift store finds. So keep hitting those flea markets and thrift stores out there, and I will see you guys back here next month for another pickups video. See you later.
Hey guys, if you like the video that you just watched, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you do the Facebook and Twitter thing, follow me at #KingaRetro. See you next time.